Let's turn that out because it's shining in my eye. Hello guys, Mickey and Kaz here. The pub is now open. The doorman's been put on the door. All is safe and secure for tonight. I will say straight away, Mick O'Garren, hi to you, mate. Timmy, hi, mate. Kitten Killer, hi, mate. Yarps, hi, mate. Stonewall Camper, evening, mate. Right, I have been advised, you're going to love this, I've been advised that I need to put a warning on my live streams. Okay, because apparently, in this world of ours today, if you just got to be careful. So, here we go, right at the beginning.
They kicked me off already.
Who's that?
It's my phone. Sorry,
yeah.
Been an arse.
Warning.
I'm back.
Although no graphic content will be shown tonight, the topic may be of an adult nature. And although we attempt to be PC, I am old, I am drinking, and therefore errors may occur. If you have small children or young ones, you may need A, set of cotton balls, or B, emergency fingers for poking in ears. You have been warned. There you go. That's
your nervous disposition.
Cheese Toasty, mug of Horlicks. He's ready.
Well, I've got wild cherry Lucozade, and I got myself a bag of dairy milk. Whoops.
Ooh.
Nut and fruit trail mix.
Yeah, now we've been trying them this week, haven't we?
Yeah,
we got them from one of the discount websites, okay? And I will say to you guys, absolutely cracking. And for once, no uncooked peanuts. It's hazelnuts, almonds, just a couple of chocolate buttons, some raisins,
and cranberries. Yeah.
As a quick pocket go-to trail mix, as a bit of a pickup and that, fantastic. Dusted with a little bit of cocoa powder, not overly sweet, gives you what you need. Yeah, really, really good. And like I say, Kaz found them on one of the discount.
Yeah, on the
Hi Katrina.
Cheap Foods or Best Before.
Yeah.
And
yeah, absolutely cracking on it.
And they're Cadbury's, and they're all hazelnuts, almonds, very nice.
Hi Sam, how you doing, mate? Any of you guys that have not met Sam before, anybody that's new to the channel, anybody that's new to the live stream tonight, Sam, Yorkshire Outdoors and Survival, nip over, see his channel. Love the tarp this week, mate. I thought that was a nice tarp shelter. I do exactly the same setup myself, Sam. Spotty dog. One of the ones I do, especially if the weather's looking a little bit milder, yeah, try dropping back to that. Instead of running through the centre, drop back one so you just get that smaller overlay and a bit more of a sloping angle at the back. Yeah, that's just another. It's just another option. It's one of those plans. The dog's been shaved.
Yes, Willow is now. Well, the colours is gone.
Yeah.
It's like stealth. It's like a stealth colour.
Smoky stealth dog.
Willow.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyhow, what am I on tonight? Let's see. I've got Thatcher's Rascal. First time I've tried that one. Been in the fridge all week because I got one of the three bottle deals last week. So that's 3 weeks worth of ciders because I'm being good. So one cider a week. That's all my alcohol content is. And let's face it, after that walk this week, I'm glad I wasn't drinking anymore. God blimey. I tell you, that was a simple miscalculation. So when I initially looked at the map and planned my route, I literally went starting here, looked at the grid squares, and went 1, 2, 3, 2.5, 3, not a problem. 3k out, 3k back, 6k.
Oh, that's very cherry.
Nice little walk. What I didn't take into account was it's a canal, and it does that all through the grid squares. So it happens. Hey John, how you doing, mate?
John.
Pub's open. I think I've got everybody so far, and Lee.
Yeah,
Yarps. Yeah, everybody. Yeah, I think I've got everybody.
Yeah, John Willow's a bit. Yeah, I'll catch him again in a while. He's had a haircut.
And so let's crack that open.
Oh, see, chicken. No, I like chicken tikka. Very nice, but I like banana milkshake.
Yeah, and there's a bit of fun for you. So,
and I don't like rice with my curry.
No, she doesn't like rice in a curry.
Mm-mm.
I like a good biryani. good biryani with a plenty of vegetable curry slashed on top. Evening, Peter. How you doing, mate?
Evening, Peter.
Bussy, Pickles is in the house. There we go. So there's a bit of fun. I've opened my cider tonight using a knife, a bottle, or a cap remover that is at least 1930 or somewhere between 1840 something and 1939. How about that? That's a cracker. That was something my cousin gave to me. Little old-fashioned knife. Might show that on one of the talks. See how we're doing. It's traumatised the bushcraft puppy. I tell you. Evening, Mike Foley. How you doing, mate?
Welcome to the pub.
Welcome to the pub. It's a case of whatever subject you want to cover, throw it up. You've got a joke, funny story, and as the evening wears on, and I've got a little bit more of that inside me, I might get a little bit carried away. And again, as I've said before, and I'm going to do it just the one more time because it's past 8 o'clock now. I've been advised that I'm supposed to give a warning out on my live streams because of the subjects and the topics we cover. So I will give it out again, and I might give it out again later in here just to make sure I don't get into any trouble. And this is the warning that I've come up with. Warning, although no graphic content will be shown, topics may be of an adult nature. And although we attempt to be PC, please remember, I am old and I am drinking. You have been warned. If you have small ones, have your ear roll fingers ready. Okay? Yes. Apparently, a couple of times over the last couple of weeks, our subject matter has got a little bit risque, maybe. But hey, test run for the diesel heater was a success, John. Excellent. I am really pleased for you there, mate. Do love a good diesel heater. Great bit of kit. Absolutely awesome. Right, first swig of the evening.
No graphic content, well, sort of, you know.
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
Right,
Thatcher's Rascal. Oh, I can recommend that one. If you like a sweet cider instead of a dry cider, I don't know if you want to try a little sip of that.
I'll take cherry.
Yeah.
That's
very drinkable. What is the alcohol content in that? What are we running on the octane level?
Dairy trail mix. Oh.
Yeah, octane level on that is. Let me double my glasses up so I can see. Octane level on that. Oh, nice. It's a 4.5, so it's not too strong. So that's a nice summer sipper. I'd enjoy that. So, John, what's the weather doing out there at the moment? How are you hanging on? No chance of psychological nudity in the morning. Well, there's always a chance of a bit of nudity. Okay, it is our natural form. Nature inspired snips and snaps. Right, guys.
Good evening, nature inspired snips and snaps.
Channel that I found this week, and I was so pleased to find it because absolutely stunning footage. Okay. Wonderful. Dive over there, show some support and some love, and I will put a reminder out later on tonight. Nature Inspired Snips and Snaps. Welcome. You are most welcome to our channel. Sunday night is just a social night. We have a laugh, we have a natter. It's a night down the pub. Enjoy yourself. It's only noon there. Okie doke, noon. Yeah. Once the old sun's past the yard on, once you're into the afternoon, you let rip. You have my permission, and if anybody says no, you're not allowed a tipple, remember Mickey says so.
Right, John, look at the colour he's gone.
Yeah. Willow had his first clip, or his first adult clip this week.
He's got a fluffy tail. So
he's lost about 16 pounds in weight. And yeah, he's loving it. It's sort of gained a bit of speed. He's gone from 4-stroke to 2-stroke, charging around like a lunatic, thinks he owns a place and he's handsome. We're owned by your dog. Well, I think anybody that's got a dog's owned by him.
Yes, what he's done today, he's had a bit of a mooch around. He's had a change round.
Yes, I have had a change round. Right, so I took everything down off the wall for the channel's sake. I say channel's sake because basically I wanted to tidy the place up, and I decided to put things into drawers and all the rest of it. do you know what? I just became a pain in the arse because every time you went into a drawer, you now got 15 items in there. You can never find what you need. So basically, the kit's gone up on the wall. And also, somebody did get hold of me and said, "Oh, I used to like looking at your wall. Every week it would change. There'd be a couple of different things up there, and I used to try and work out what they were or what had moved." So the wall's back up. The map is hidden behind, mate. Covert.
Good evening, Sticks.
The map is up behind.
Yeah.
New things you'll see up there. There's a black and white photograph next to the motorbike photograph. That's my father, handsome devil that he was. So his picture's up there just to watch over me and make sure I behave. What else is new up there that you might not have seen before? Right, it's got the new type
hiking the hills
GSR respirator there, which I'm trialing at the moment for the Forge. It's working out very, very well. That's a triple filtered system. And also in the event that somebody tries to gas me, I've got it. I'm loving it. Sticks, hello, mate. Oh, I love that tarp. Right, the tarps you've done, and I think you're right. It's the weave. Watching your video today, I haven't had a chance to really put a comment up yet, and this is one of the annoying things. I watch a lot of you guys' videos downstairs on the TV with Kaz, and I've got no way of actually making a comment there. Then I come back upstairs, and I'll be honest with you, I forget. I'm usually sitting there going, "Oh, what am I going to do this week? What am I going to do that week?" And then I forget. So if I don't put a comment on any of your videos, please don't be offended.
Still, so snow. That's why he's gone out. He's gone out camping.
Oh, you bugger! You
Evening,
bugger.
Tommy. Nice to see you. How you doing, love?
Evening, Evan. How you doing, mate? Right.
Devil.
Sorry about that. Yeah. So where was I? That's because I got confused.
Yeah.
Stealth. It's snowing. So you're up the camp snowing, watching this on your phone, aren't you? Well, I hope it's a bloody blizzard. I hope it ends up 6 feet deep. I hope you get stuck up there for days as well. I hope you have to ride your tank out. Have a great time, guys. And yeah, I am a bit envious. We've been waiting for snow here, and waiting, and waiting, and waiting, and waiting. And
everyone keeps on about what snow they've had, and we're just getting upset now.
Yeah, the Tommy. Yeah, hello, mate. How you doing? Hope you're good. Hope you're safe wherever you are, and hope you're not working too hard.
Please, I would appreciate some snow.
Right, Sticks is holding water on one side. That's probably the weave. So look, when you go back to like traditional canvases and that, a lot of traditional canvases weren't waterproof when they first got moisture on them. And what would happen is the natural fibre of the canvas would expand, and that would close up the little gaps and holes. And invariably, what would happen is you might end up with a little dribble on the inside. But the thing was, it was that smaller dribble. It would run down the inside of the canvas, down the edge, and drop to the deck. We've got so used to modern waterproof materials, which are literally won't let anything through at all. We forget that the old method was literally the condensation and moisture running down the inside of the tent, but it would stay on the wall. It would stay away from you. Hence, a lot of the old tents, like the old pup tents and that, had no floors, and that was the primary reason. So you might find excuse me, I've got hiccups tonight. It might be the weave, might be a tighter weave required, but I'll be honest with you, from what I've seen of what you've done there, awesome, mate, awesome creation, and it will work. Kept the water
Evening,
off,
Mac.
and let's face it, sometimes it's not when you're shelter building. It's not necessarily about the moisture that's on the material. We've all got up inside a tent with condensation. It's about actually keeping the downpour from you. Simple. What I would do, mate, is I would get one up and set it up as a water collector, and just see how that holds water. Just gauge how much comes through. Because the funny thing is, even with Gore-Tex and that, you know, you hang a sheet of Gore-Tex up or Gore-Tex poncho up, fill it with water, and you watch it, it will bead through eventually. It's the pressure that does it. So, yeah, it's about having a play, but awesome effort, mate. Absolutely fantastic. And I'd shelter under one of them more than happily.
Congrats to Mac on becoming a granddad.
Yes, congrats,
again.
Mac, grandfather again.
Is your granddaughter talking to your daughter now that since you bought your grandson home.
Yeah, proud grandfather. Got a new grandson, or got a grandson and a granddaughter.
Yeah.
The granddaughter has the right old hump at the moment because Mummy's brought a new member of the family into the house. So yeah, that could get a bit sticky for a day or two.
Yep. Or she'll be moving in with Granddad.
Yeah. Or she'll be moving in with Granddad. Yeah, kids for you. Oh, yeah, but Lee, I've seen that. Yeah, the using silicon and thinners. Yes, I've had a go at that in the past, just on a very small scale. Worked superbly. However, I will say, did stink to high heaven. Like, you're right there. Cap on a bit. Yeah, canvases. I mean, if you take things like the WAHOO shelters I've got, they're the same. They will shed water if they're at a steep angle, but if you open them right out like that, the water will sit on it, and at the beginning it will bead through very slightly. But as the canvas actually soaks up the moisture, the fibres expand, it closes everything off, and away it goes.
She's slightly better. Yeah, you don't. Yeah.
Well, Matt, I'll raise a glass to your grandson, mate.
Good evening, Ian.
Good evening, Ian. I hope you're well, my friend. I hope you're all good down there. I hope the weather's been behaving for you.
I'm sorry if I haven't answered all your emails the last few days. Not been too well again, so I've had to have a little break again.
Yeah, Kaz had a bit of a struggle this week, so we've not been able to get out and do any posts. So I do apologise. The bits I was going to post off last week haven't gone out
I
yet.
will get them done this week.
Partly that's my fault. Setting out to do a walk that you think is going to be 2 hours and coming back 6-7 hours later, not a good move.
Good evening, the visible camper.
Hiya, mate. How you doing up there in Scotland? I hope it's all good.
I'll tell you what we did have yesterday. It was rather nice. Mitch found some
old Scarlet Elf cups.
Scarlet Elf cups.
Yeah.
They're a type of mushroom that's like a little cup, and they're sort of like bright red. And yesterday morning we had some brown toast with granary toast with bacon, with the Scarlet Elf cup, and some woodland mushrooms.
Foraged mushroom breakfast.
Very nice.
Stunning. And that's one of the beauties this time of year, guys. You get out things like the Scarlet Elf. If you're new to foraging, things like the Scarlet Elf cups, you can't mistake them for anything else. They really are a very, very individual plant. And again, don't listen to that old saying that red is dead, because that's a lot of looks. But again, if anything you're foraging, make sure you positively identify it. Okay, but the Scarlet Elf cup is so individual that you will not mistake it for anything else.
Good evening, BJ.
It's a wonderful, wonderful wild edible. And if you like mushrooms, golly, like that.
They are really nice. Now, I've decided now we've been getting some wild woodland mushrooms from Morrison's, and I've decided that I'm not eating more chestnut mushrooms because they tasted nothing.
Yeah. BJ, how you doing, mate? Hope everything's good over there for you. I hope the weather's getting better for you guys. Spring is on the way. Noticed that when I was out on my walk this week. Absolutely stunning. The birds were singing in the trees, and sod's law.
And he's not dead after that attack by the squirrel.
Yeah, sod's law. I'm really quite jealous of. Brain's gone again. Oh.
Yeah, we've got lots of daffodils.
Sorry, guys. Happens to me occasionally. As I've said in the past, I've had a brain injury in the past, and every now and again, I just lose a complete track, and I do apologise. It happens. It will come back to me. But on my walk, I was, do excuse me, excited. That's the trouble. Bimbling along, minding my own, looking one way, stopped, looking into the distance, turned, and just over my shoulder, I caught a bit of movement. within 10 metres of me on a ride, there was a road buck, absolutely gorgeous, just stood there. And I did the old, he might not have noticed me. Well, yeah, of course he hasn't. Sort of turned, got the GoPro, hit record, turned back, and it's just this green expanse. He's gone. I was like, sod's law. So I was like, and that's one of the things about stalking. Sometimes you're just looking completely the wrong direction. But it happens. It happens.
You had your primroses as well.
Yeah. Primroses. I do like primrose. Something about the primrose flowers. This early in the season, super sweet. Okay, all the sugars have been released in there, and I tend to just take the flowers themselves, just nip the flowers off the top. And as you may have seen in the video, the other thing I'll do is I'll look for the flowers that are coming just to the end of their flower their season. You know, I try and leave what I can for the insects, for the bees, for the other animals that are desperate for that. But if I've got one that's starting to wilt over, starting to go, I'm quite happy to pick that and take it. So again, if it was survival, it'd be a different matter. But if it's not survival, enjoy it. But yeah, remember there's other things out there that want to share it as well. And speaking of which, if I've been lucky, do excuse me, crashing and banging and crashing. It's a let's have a look now. Right, there we go. So whilst I was out looking around pillboxes and that, I found the evidence of a very endangered and rare species in the UK. Okay, and it's got a giveaway telltale, and you don't often see them. And I've only ever seen one in the wild live myself in many years of working in forestry and that. So if you've got hazel coppicing around you, okay, you'll quite often find nuts that look like that. Okay, now that's not a bad sign. That's a mouse. Okay, and the mouse has just taken off enough of the shell that it needs to, take the flesh out. And he'll do that in one place, he'll store them. But if you're really lucky, you'll find them like that. You'll find especially things like hazelnuts and pips, just a tiny little hole knocked out at the top. There you go, that's a little tiny pip. And it's just a little tiny hole knocked out the top of these. Okay, and you can see the size of it. And all he's done is just enough to get that out. Now, if you find that, it's a very, very good chance in that hazel coppice there's edible dormice. And edible dormice were brought to Britain by the Romans. Hence, edible dormice, they like to eat them. And the edible dormouse has a very fluffy tail. He's the cute image that we get from Beatrix Potter and that, the little dormouse all tucked up in his tail. Okay. They nest in the stumps of hazel. They build their nests in there and get right down into the bottom of the big old hazel stumps, or look for hollows in small trees. Very, very rare. Like I say, I've only ever found one in my lifetime, but seeing the signs is enough to assure me that there's many more there. So could be a breeding colony there. Absolutely over the moon.
Yeah, locally, we're in Hampshire, and Sussex was the next county over. They're actually thinking about releasing pine martins. They've let them out in Scotland and Wales, aren't they?
Yeah.
And
I'm a bit two ways on this. Now, I don't mind the pine martins being released because I know they're going to munch the grey squirrels. That's great. I'm quite happy for anything to munch on grey squirrels. The unfortunate side of it is, being pine martins, they will also, if they get into areas like that woodland where you've got an endangered species like the edible dormouse, they're going to munch them as well. Now, that's where it becomes a bit of an issue. It's reintroduction conservation. It's a great ideal, but it needs to be thought about very carefully about the species they're bringing in or reintroducing. Because again, the other thing is those species then have no predators that would originally preyed on them. And for the pine marten, it would have been things like bears, it would have been things like wolves, it would have been things like wildcats would have preyed on those. And obviously man hunted them for their skins and so on, and it kept a balance. But when you bring an apex predator like that into an environment where he has no predator, and he's got perfect breeding conditions and a perfect food supply, it can strip an area, as we had with the mink. That was very unfortunate.
We had a lot of activists who got out and let the mink free, and obviously they thrive wherever they go, and they destroy absolutely everything.
Yeah, I mean it's it's about finding a balance. Okay, and this is I at heart I'm a conservationist. I'm an ecologist. I love the environment. I love nature, and I love to see all species back. Okay, I know a lot of people don't fancy the idea, but I'm quite happy to live in a wilderness alongside animals that may also be a threat to me. I've been in these places in the past, and again, with good practice and good sense, you're fine. But they sort of get this mindset of one species, and it's not. If you're going to bring back everything, you've got to bring back everything. You've got to have that absolute ecological balance all the way through. Nature doesn't just go, there's that, we'll put that there.
I believe it's up in the Lake District last week. Someone actually found a alligator snapping turtle.
Yeah.
Well, we don't get alligator snapping turtles here. We don't even get normal turtles really, apart from out at sea. And someone obviously had a pet or had one, and it got too much for them and just let it go. And
it's all about good management. And if you haven't got the apex predators, you also then have to have the responsibility to manage it yourself. Okay, that is part of the responsibility of managing and caring for nature, wildlife, and the environment. Sometimes don't. And again, it's this difficult thing. We're all led by our hearts, but we've got to be ruled by our heads. Okay.
When the UK was attached to France, we had bears and wolves and tigers and they quite happily went backwards and forwards, but to sort of track them on an island of now we can't sustain things like that.
It's all about responsibility and good management. And again, and as I say, anything that reduces the number of grey squirrels and gets our red back into a decent, strong population, I'm all for.
And I heard that our hedgehog population has gone up by 1%. I mean, that's not a lot, but considering how few hedgehogs we've got now, it's
they're on about bringing wolves back in Scotland, and again, that's fine if you're going to manage that environment and keep those wolves in. You've got to remind yourself, why were wolves wiped out in Great Britain in the first place? Well, that was because they become a threat to farmers. They become a threat to livestock. They become an issue. They become a demon in the woods. Okay. And so they were eradicated. So if you're going to bring them back, then bring them back. But you've got to make sure that they're in areas where they're not going to get out, where they're in areas they can be managed, where they can be cared for as well. So in today's world, you've got to make sure that they've got a ready food
supply. Good evening,
supply.
Michael. Thank you for dropping in.
Deer numbers in the UK are through the roof, absolutely through the roof. But you start releasing packs of wolves out there, the numbers are going to come down quite quickly. And when times get hard and tough, what's jolly old wolf going to do? He's going to have a look at that white woolly thing that stood in the field over there that's never seen a wolf in its life. That's an easy meal. You can't blame him.
The deer up in Scotland are, at least they're well managed, whereas a lot of what we got down here, we got the Chinese water deer, we've got muntjac, we've got fallow and roe and sika deer, and they're not all our native species.
Like Nature Inspired just said there, conservation had to cull wolves 2 years back because they were taking out the caribou herd. Exactly that, and it's difficult.
But they have actually got we've got a herd of reindeer now in Scotland, haven't we?
Yeah. And as
roaming
Ken
wild.
Keller's just said there is no one particular landowner in Scotland that wants wolves reintroduced. And I definitely don't think the farming community would be too impressed.
Unfortunately, it's one of those things.
Against,
with the wolves, we've progressed beyond them now.
Yeah.
It's not like other countries that got.
You haven't got
still
the
have the
expanse.
wolves.
Yeah.
You got in Russia and America and that they've got the wolves, but we've had none here. So
The other thing is it cruel to reintroduce them in Scotland? And I know that sounds like an odd thing to say. Okay, what is the roaming area of a wolf pack in the wild in a natural environment? Okay, bear in mind, British Isles is only 700 miles long and it's only 200 miles wide.
I like your way of thinking there, Lee.
So would you be introducing them into an area where it's no longer big enough for a pack?
Unfortunately, it's the same down here. When I used to work for, I used to work for the army, and I had a particular area in Sussex, and the deer weren't being managed properly, and the weights of the female deers they were just too underweight, and then they're still having their fawns. Yeah. And still breeding, and it's
this
is
good. One of the very, very difficult things. And I've been a deer manager, so I have been out managed deer.
Benny.
I had to do a qualification for it. I had to be trained for it, as well as already being a fairly adequate hunter and countryman. Okay, so in the management of deer, I've got to apply for all my firearms licenses and all the rest of it. I've got to get the deer management qualifications, and I've got to get permission. I've got to get the landowner's authority to be on his land to manage his deer. I've got to have a management program. If it's then going into the food system, okay, and that is as far as anything other than what's going into me as the person that took it, okay, I've then got to have all the hygiene certificates, meat preparation certificates, the license to prepare and game and so on and so on, and it becomes a whole rigmarole. Okay, and on one hand, the government's saying we need to manage these deer. The numbers are out of control. We need to manage them, and they need to be managed humanely and with good care and all the rest of it by professionals, which I agree. Have the licenses, go through the training to do it. Then you've got to jump through absolutely one hoop after the other to have your firearms license to actually go out and do it. So in one hand they want you to do it, in the other hand they take it away and make it almost impossible. And the problem is because the people that are in power, they got their foot in both doors. Now I've got nothing against anybody that is. How can I put this without wishing to sound condescending? Anybody that doesn't agree with hunting, okay. I've got no problem with that. That's a moral decision for an individual, but you've got to manage these things, and they have to be managed humanely, safely, and decently, so that they, for their own welfare. Like Kaz was just saying, one of the issues we had here was our deer herds here. The does were losing their calves purely and simply because they were underweight, and they were underweight because they're competing for food. I hear you say, but the woods still look green. Yes, they do, but they're not getting the right plants for their nutrient or the nutrients that they need. So the numbers do need to be controlled. But the only way to do that is by a very well trained professional gun, somebody who's got the heart and conscience to do it decently. Yeah, it's my rant. Sorry.
Max said you re-injure his bed. Keep the place clean until he's free.
No problem with that. Hey, Mac, I wonder if we can get a bear outfit. We're up in Scotland. Oh no, we're going to get up somewhere like the Flairy Glen and that, and just sort of in the distance mooch across the things.
Just Mac,
how many tourists to get the photographs and the bear is back. When you
next go out with Rick to do any filming and that, remember to put him in front of you, because any rabid squirrels will go for him first.
A bloody squirrel.
Everyone's on about your squirrel.
It was hard as nails. There was three. You saw in the video. There's 3 dogs there, and he come down into the bush, and he was going like, these 3 dogs to the point where the 2 Labradors just went, nah, sod this, mate. I'm not arguing with that squirrel, and off they went. And I thought, oh, sweet of him. And he turned around and started to go away, and he almost
getting killer.
You almost see him stop and sort of do a nah, and the human's getting it. Bloody hell, I thought he was going to go up my trouser leg.
There's a wrong sort of nuts there.
I've seen what a squirrel can do when it bites somebody. I just had this horrible image of it sort of
Good evening,
up,
Derek.
nibbling me. Derek, hang tough, werewolf in London.
Yeah.
Definitely. So how you doing, Derek? I hope you're doing good. Wear a bulletproof vest.
Did you get that nice wool? That lovely 100% wool
hoodie?
Yeah,
that looked good.
Yeah,
that looked absolutely awesome.
Is it?
Yeah, that looked like a good bit of kit. I was quite
Ecuador,
envious.
sorry.
Yes, Ecuadorian. So yeah, you're looking at the Andes, aren't you? Andes Mountains.
Might be alpaca.
It could be alpaca. It could be wool. It could probably be something. One of the Angora species of not Angora. What's one of the goat species lives in the mountains? Good for the hair. Bugger. I lost it for the moment. So yeah, probably one of those species. But again, wool is wool. Haggis.
Yes. Oh, I love haggis. Oh, don't start with haggis again. Yeah, Derek, I'm afraid your Wookiee friend's a little bit.
Yeah.
He went in like a Wookiee, and he's come out like a mink. Hello, you eat fluff.
You
got fluff. Come on.
Good boy.
Oh,
come on, Willow. Oh, right. He doesn't want me. There we go. Say hello to Uncle Derek. Because you had your hair cut, and yeah. There you go. Go say hello to Uncle Derek. You're not so much of a Wookiee now, are you?
Really?
Yeah. There you go.
The colours.
There you go. Yeah. Not so Wookiee-fied.
He's gone. Yeah, he's got woodland colour. You can't see it.
Sable.
Yeah.
Sable. Right, I'll put you down, then you can go back to having your kip. Don't want to pick him up too much. And I'll be honest with you all. He had a haircut this week, and he had a lovely shower, and he was all cleaned up, and he smelt lovely. He's been out this afternoon in the front garden.
He found foxwee.
I can smell fox. My dog has been a-rolling.
Thank you, Nature. He's only 8 months old, and his name's Willow.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
He's
But
we saw him at the Goodwill.
Yeah. But he blends in now. It's terrible. Where he saw the long hair, you don't see him now. So he just blends.
He's learning to move quickly, especially with me, because I'm a bit clumsy where I put my feet.
Yeah. Well, most of our dogs have always had a thing about rolling fox poo.
Oh, Derek, so it's itchy as hell. Got tossed. That's a shame. That's a shame.
We've got snow in there again. We got nothing. Even Cornwall and Devon have got snow.
It's not going to snow on me.
I see the snow gods don't like us.
No, they know. They're looking. They're going. Oh, Mickey's going to go out and do a video if it snows. He's going to go out and do a video.
Let's do a hot tent.
Yeah, and
you go have a hot tent in. Yeah.
Was it you used to get told as a kid? The more you want it, the less likely it happen. Everything you don't want to have happen happens. Everything you really want doesn't. So, as a kid, what did I want? Well, I wanted a John Deere tractor. Okay, I didn't get a John Deere tractor. As I got a little bit older, I really wanted a Harley Davidson. Didn't get one of those till I was a lot older.
Yeah, it's cold.
What I didn't want was the cane. Got that a few times. And I definitely didn't want the school custard. and I got that regularly. In actual fact, I had a dinner lady that decided I was underweight, and it made it her duty to stand over me pretty much every dinner time and make sure I ate a double portion.
John said he paid to see Mac in a Yogi Bear suit with a tie.
Does that make me boo-boo?
Yeah. Look at it, boo.
Go on, Mick. Go give me a picnic basket.
Yeah. At least it's like, watch out, here come the bears.
Oh, what was that?
The Hair Bear Bunch.
Hair Bear Bunch. God,
Yeah.
blimey, I haven't thought about that for years.
Oh, my friend just getting really doing me in there.
Yeah, I'll do that for you. Look at that trim.
And he's
Strip her
colouring.
out.
Bushwhacker, that's what he. Bushwhacker.
Oh,
So what does that make me?
you are the picnic basket.
I'm not the picnic basket.
Right. Oh, so
Care Bears. Wear your heart on your t-shirt.
no, we're the absolute opposite.
Okay. Don't care bears.
Yeah, I don't think you can have a don't give an F bears. I don't think that. I'm a don't give an F bear.
No.
Yeah, I'm a farming bear. I sowed my field of Fs, and it was barren, for I do not have an F to give. In actual fact,
Oh yeah.
this is my tin of Fs. You may see it is empty. No Fs to give. Used to have a tin on my desk in my office, and it used to have a big F on it.
Yeah, I had one in the office too.
And I had somebody come in moaning or whinging, and I'd say it, and I'd look down at the tin. It didn't just have an F on it; it had the full word. And I'd pick it up and give it a shake, open it, and say, "Sorry, mate, got none to give you." I did, Derek. You may notice if you watch my latest video that I struggled on for 48 to 72 hours and finally got up this afternoon to find it had a glitch in it, to then have to take it down to re-upload it with a bit of editing. Yeah, took a tip from there. Got that first 5 seconds, shortened up my channel intro as well.
Thank you, we appreciate that.
Shortened that right up. It's just getting that learning to get that next bit. And she's right when she's saying, you know, it's the way to think of it. When somebody clicks on your thumbnail, your image, and all the rest of it, that's that point. You've got 5 seconds to make them go, "Oh, that's interesting," and then you've got another sort of 20 seconds, 25 seconds to make them go, "I've got to watch this to the end now," and that's what I've got to learn to do. That's what I've got to learn to do. I've got to break it down into 3. So it's literally thumbnail and image. Good old Mackie's great at that. Okay. And then that introduction, 5 seconds. Hello, this is what we're doing today. Right? Did we make it? And then 3 minute channel introduction, and then straight into the video, and start with that. Watch it to the end. 4.
Not only does he want to do his hot tent in the snow, but there is a reason why I'd like to see a bit of snow, because I want to see if I can drift my mobility scooter in the snow. My big one that does 8 miles an hour. And again,
so
I can tie the dog on the back on a sled and see if I can drift him.
Crazy one. Got to make snow chains for it. So we've added a chapter to the playlists, Kit Talk, and that's primarily that's really aimed at people or anybody interested in kit. I'm always getting asked, you know, shows this, shows that, shows this, shows that. So what I'm doing, I'm sort of splitting it up a little bit. So yeah, I'm still going to be doing my main videos, and I'm still going to be out doing the camping and all the rest of it. And there'll still be showing you bits and pieces on that. But the kit talk is going to be more based around the gear I've got. And if I'm lucky and somebody sends me some gear where I can do a bit more of an in-depth dive into it. Is it any good? Why do I use it? What do I use it for? How do I recommend it? Okay. And that's the idea of that is I can't always get out. Some weeks, due to weather or due to conditions, I'm screwed. Okay, and those weeks I get really frustrated, Kaz, I tell you, I'm very angry about not being able to get out and do a video. By having Kit Talk, it actually means that I can be here, sit down, select a couple of items, do 2 10-15-minute videos on those items to put up that week. And the idea of Kit Talk is, I think I'm going to try and keep the videos to 10 to 15 minutes. I think any longer than that on an item is going to get a bit long-winded and a bit much. Yes.
You had some quite good feedback on the bits of history added to your canal walk and that. And
I was really pleasantly surprised. I thought canal walks might be, people might find them a bit boring and that, but actual fact, the feedback we're getting on the walks that me and Mac have done so far is really, really good. People are enjoying it. They like the idea of it's not just a walk to distance, you know. I'm not knocking anybody else's channel at all, but some people it's just like I am walking, and I'm walking, and I'm walking, and the feedback we've got is people like it because we're not just walking, we're walking along a bit of history, and we've also done our research and have the knowledge to point out bits that are interesting and maybe veering off here and there just to show you points of interest rather than being fixated on distance as the goal, which is what we're trying to do.
There is
invisible camper. See, that's you're exactly. You're the man to go to there. The way you do your videos, and you combine the beauty of the place, the adventure of actually being out there and staying there, and the history. That's you just got it all in one. Down here we're a bit more limited. Well, say we're not limited in history, but it's actually finding places that have not been built on.
We haven't forgotten about the gunpowder mills trip. Just that Alice, our car, decided that she was going to be a bit of an arse, and also the weather wasn't helping us out either, was it?
No, Kitten, I haven't had a chance to yet. I literally today.
I looked at some of it.
Yeah, today has literally been got up, made breakfast for Kaz, sorted Kaz out, got organised myself, sat down at computer, trashed all the footage that I put together yesterday because I wasn't happy with it, thinking this will be all right. I know where I am now and I know what I'm doing. Then sort of had one of those frustrating about 5 hours of nothing would seem to flow trying to put it together. In the video that I put up today, there are actually probably about 12 to 20 cuts in that, and trying to just.
No, you're right, Derek. He didn't die. No, he did not die.
Cut it so that it made sense. Look sensible. And if you watch it, you'll see there's a couple of bits in it which you can see there's a bit of a jump and all the rest of it. But so I started getting more and more frustrated with that. Then finally got it uploaded. Went through all the YouTube progress, and anybody that's got a channel knows, you know, you do your upload and all the rest of it, got description, title, blah, 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 got all that on, got that on. Yes, one of those, no to that, no to this, yes to that, no to this, no to that. Yes, I'm positive, no to that. Yes, I'm positive, no to that. No, I don't want it. That's it. Upload. Your video will be ready to watch in an hour and 45 minutes.
Yes, Lee, he nearly got killed by the squirrel. The squirrel's not his friend.
You hit notify and you go away. And an hour and 45 minutes later, if you're lucky, then your video is ready to be watched. Run back upstairs. Yeah, everything's fine there. Downstairs, Kaz, come on, help me watch this. Make sure it's a good one. There we go. So 6 minutes and I think it was 20 seconds in, froze.
And it's red.
You can hear me talking and the image just froze. And it kept going for about 45 seconds and then cut back in. Run back upstairs, got in here, make that private, sit down, back into my editing program, have a look at it, find the bit, chop out the bit where it froze, put it together, do it. Now I've got to put that up as a new video. By now, I've got, I think, about 9 comments on the other video, which nobody said, Mick, you froze. So I'm just like, yeah, cheers, guys, answer some comments, do the whole thing again. And after that, it was time to grab some tea. And after tea, it was a chance to have a quick scrape of the face, quick wash and brush up. And here I am. Yeah, so that was a brief synopsis of my day.
Oh, you thought it was your tablet? Yeah, it was your tablet, Yarp. It wasn't you, it was Yarp's tablet.
Yes, Derek, I do remember that one time when you dropped a nuclear bomb on me, or possibly a meteorite.
But did you die?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Bloody nearly did on that walk this week. Get out.
He come through the door. It looked like he'd been part of the North, the North Pole trek. It was in pieces.
I don't know whether this will pick it up well enough, but give you an instance of stupidity. Okay, we've all made errors in the past.
Yeah, that was a nice flashlight light that you up there. Oh, that's it.
Okay, so the walk, what I did, basically started off the map about here. Okay, and ended about here. Right, so yeah, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 squares, 8K, not a problem at all. Looking at it like that. Not counting the bit that's off the map. So the canal comes in here, round 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 here. I hadn't noticed it. I just thought, beeline. I know from this village to this village is 10-minute drive. Yeah, and the canal just does that. So yeah.
Yeah, that trust fire.
Sat down the map measurer and did it. It works out about 8 miles each way. It's a bit of a shocker that was.
Yeah. Yeah. Jason come around and goes, "Where's Mick?" I said, "Oh, he's out on his walks." And, "Oh, in the dark." I said,
and of course, by the time I got back, my mate's here. So I sort of staggered with the kit back from the car. Come through the gate, looked up, see my mate's here. So of course, I'm not showing in the paint. All right, Jason, how you doing? He's like, "What you done?" So I walked a little bit too far.
Meandering stroll, yeah.
It was a meandering stroll. It was once it got dark. Once it got dark, blimey.
I seem to remember us doing part of the Basingstoke Canal in a boat, rowing boat. And we just kept, no, a little bit further, and of course the road back was, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you, but I used to be when I was on the beach. When you're looking for rock pools and shells, you can just keep going. A certain person took me to a beach in Wales, Pendine Sands, and we decided to go for a walk. And we walked.
Foggy day.
We walked. We just kept going, and we're looking down these lovely shells. And there's a place there that they fire out to sea.
Rocket testing.
Testing centre. And also it's a long, flat beach. For anyone who's not been there, because they race cars on it because it's so
did the speed record there. Yeah.
So we decided we'll turn around now and walk back. And we'll get some tea, and we walked for hours and hours. It was
It was one of those foggy days where you can't see more than about 30 metres in any direction, and the walk itself basically just we were enjoying it so much you didn't notice time, didn't look at watches or anything. We had 3 border terriers then, so they were charging around like lunatics, and we just kept walking and walking and walking. It's when we got back and we were both exhausted, and we got back. When did the fish and chip shop?
It was just shut, isn't it?
Yeah, they were just closing, weren't they?
Yeah, but they sold us all they had left.
They said, you can have what's left. We'll do a deal on that. So brilliant, that'll do. We're that hungry, we don't give a damn what it is. And she said, where have you been? I said, we walked up the beach. She said, oh, how far did you go? And I said, well, we got to this big wooden post with a triangle on the top. And she looked at me and she went, ow, what? The big red and white wooden post with a triangle on top? I said, yeah. That's bloody miles
Yeah.
away. That's right at the other end of the beach.
That's probably why I'm knackered now, disabled, because all the miles I did.
Yeah, it was just one of those. But the thing is, in that fog, where the beach was so flat, and you had no features, no real change of light at all or anything. It just literally time just shut down completely, and we were out all day, and we weren't pushing it. It was just bimbling along. You know, have a look at this, have a look at that, watch the dogs run around, keep walking, keep walking, keep walking. It's quite funny how the conditions sometimes could do that to you. I've had the same thing in snow, very heavy snowfall, where you're moving and you lose track of time because of the effort you're putting in, and the way that the environment around you closes in on you. You just lose track of it before you know it. Yeah, perspective of time, distance goes completely out the window, and that's how a lot of people get lost, especially in desolate areas, wilderness areas. They just lose their track of time and distance. Oh yeah,
I made it make up to me though, because we went to a chocolate place that made handmade chocolates for all the posh places up in London,
Thornton's and that.
Yeah. So
and did I sleep well after my walk this week? It was all right till about 3:30 in the morning when I decided to get cramp in my thigh, and that was, and as usual, do you get cramp when you want to go for a wee? Always in the early hours of the morning in the pitch black. At that point, where your body wakes you up and says, "You need a wee, and you need it now,"
and the dog
you go to get up, your thigh cramps. You're trying to stand up and trying to hobble across the room, and you're trying not to wake your partner up. The dog's going.
Then he tripped you over.
Yeah.
And then when you got back, he licks your face. You can't breathe.
It was a proper comedy of errors. It was, and I managed to keep my sense of humour the whole way through it, didn't I, Kaz? Yeah. just about. Honestly, I was only joking with what I said. It was me trying to be humorous.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to do anything with a spade to the dog, really. No. I love him dearly. Yeah, pee bottles, not just for cancer at our age. Yeah. Yeah. There's why is cramp? I don't mind cramp. Well, I do mind cramp, but just why is it always when you least need it? Oh, that was murder, that was. And you ladies, don't tell me none of you haven't suffered with the same thing. Waking up in the wee hours in the morning going, "Oh, got cramp, and I need to leave."
Yeah, but we can't unfortunately use a pee bottle.
No.
We have to physically get out of the...
You need a gazunder.
Yes.
Yeah, a gazunder. It's a porcelain bowl, about that big. There's under the bed for emergencies. Called a gazunder because it goes under the bed. Or a po.
Or a potty.
Yeah. I refuse to call it a potty. I remember a picture of my little brother with one on his head when he was can't be much more, about 5 or 6.
Right, well.
We played soldiers. Oh, that's her excuse, Lee. Lee says his missus wakes him up in cramp.
Thunder mug.
He has to massage her. Thunder mug, yeah. Do you know what? They had the right idea in the old days. They have that emergency backup.
When you're busting, it doesn't matter how big a blooming potty is or thunder mug. No.
Yeah. As I say, I've been known to hang out the back of a 4-tonner before now.
I don't know if you get them in America, the old ones, but a lot of the British ones had like an eyeball in the bottom. You look down and there's like an eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that was about.
No.
Yeah, I remember the outside toilet. The winter dash. It goes back to a day when you really did make sure you went before you went to bed. You know,
Actually, we're not watching a lot of the old black and white army training, American army training films. And they're saying about be careful getting bits out when it's minus 50.
Cause pink eye, that will.
I know. They used to do it out the back.
Yeah. Get your buddies to hang onto your shoulders whilst you hang over the tailgate on the local motorway. 2 or 3 of you all lined up because the cookhouse chili wasn't doing you any favours. Full bugger driving up behind you in his Morris Marina going, bloody road's muddy tonight, isn't it, Doris?
Another reminder for the camp.
Yes.
It is Wildtown. It's Friday the 31st of May to June the 2nd, which is a Friday.
Friday to Sunday. Yeah.
Friday to Sunday. There is, if you can't come down by car, then we can pick up at railway stations. There's Farnham, Farnborough, which has got Farnborough Main, Farnborough North, and North Camp, and Aldershot.
Yeah, Aldershot.
We've got some spaces still left.
Yeah, we have. So yeah,
Jason very kindly is going to be doing a range stew on the Saturday night.
Yeah, range stew for those old squaddies and a curry as well. So again, it will be simple fare. He's doing
the rest of the food, obviously, breakfast, etc. You'll be
she'll get range on the Saturday night. Jason's going to do it for us a range stew and an army curry. Yeah, take any of those that are ex-services. Remind you of the good old days, and for any of you that were never there, let's see how we suffered. Yeah. Don't ask him what's in it, because you'll just get a standard military answer: curry.
If you see a big snigger on his face, it's that rabid squirrel.
We do have a Norgie container.
Yep.
Yeah, it can be served from a Norgie. And the Norgie will in the morning.
Lee, I should put you down, my love. Yep. There is space for you.
In the Norgie in the morning, I will be serving that famous old British Army tradition: coffee tea with orange scum. Because anybody that remembers old Norwegian containers, God knows how they used to do it, but you could make tea in it that tasted of coffee, and it always had that little orange ring around the edge from years and years of chilies, I suppose, and curries.
I can't remember if we've got your email address, Lee. So if you want to send us an email to that, then I can put you in the camp emails and keep you up to date with any changes.
That would be absolutely fantastic.
Bromide.
It was something, Mike. I know that. We've got a Norwegian container, so yeah, that will probably come back into use. If you really, really want, for those of you really desperate to, you can have the Norwegian container for the evening. I'm sure Jace will serve it to you along with a big spoon. And the range stew, he's already said, I'm going to serve that traditionally. He said, so it'll be a big dollop of range stew, 2 slices of bread, and the margarine type butter packs, but they will be frozen beforehand so that it's impossible to spread it. You will also be given a broken plastic spoon.
Anyone else who obviously who wants to come on the camp or just generally want to ask us anything, that's our email, and it's mail.com, not Gmail. Okay.
Yeah, it'll be served on a paper plate that will be provided by the cheapest bidder. So it has the ability to absorb moisture and fall apart in your hand within seconds. The only bonus is it does have some nutritional value. No.
And if you decide to go off in the night for a little walkie, beware, there are quite a lot of slopes.
Yeah, bring your head torches.
Yeah.
You will need them. And for anybody that's interested in mysticism and mythology, the hill that you will be staying on was the last reported sighting of a pixie or a fairy
-23
in Surrey.
You take it easy, and thank you very much for dropping by, and look forward to seeing you again.
Yeah.
And enjoy your wood prep.
Nature, I forget what your name was. I do apologise. I saw it on your channel, but thank you for joining us. Have an awesome day. Right, enjoy yourself. Stay safe. Have fun. Thank you for being here, and hopefully we'll see you again next Sunday. And I'll look forward to seeing your videos. Thank you very much. And guys, yeah, Nature Inspired Snips and Snaps. Dive over, have a look. Yeah, you'll like it. It's wonderful.
Yeah,
show some love.
Squirrel trowel and the
taking the bloody 12 gauge with me. Comes at me like that again.
The catapult for any Sasquatches, yeah. And anything else fade that are in the woods.
Yeah. Mikhail, peace to you, my friend. Take care. Have a good evening.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us. I hope you've enjoyed it. And you're more than welcome back anytime. The pub door is always open to you.
Yes.
We're not cracking off yet.
No, right. We've still got another hour.
Anybody want to throw up a subject, an idea, a plan, or come on?
Suggest, not throw up.
All right. Anybody got any suggestions? I'm running out of. Yeah, I've gone through my list a bit quickly tonight. I do apologise, and the cider isn't as strong as last week's, so it's not. I'm not firing quite on all cylinders. I do apologise. It's been one of those weeks. Is there anything that you would definitely like to see on Kit Talk that is possibly here? A subject, equipment.
John wants you to use that roll. It's the American roll, Ranger roll.
Yeah. Yeah. Okie dokie. Yeah, I will do that. Outside toilet with a roll of newspapers. We had squares cut out of the local.
Camping is great fun, Tree. Always make sure you got a good sleep mat.
Yep.
Or you can get those little camping beds. Always make sure you've got a decent sleeping bag.
Make sure you're comfortable. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Make sure you've got a bit of insulation, a bit of padding between you and the ground. Right. That's essential. Basically, on top of that, make sure your sleeping bag or the blanket system, whatever you're using, is going to be adequate for the conditions. Okay. Some of the worst nights I've had haven't so much been nights where I've been cold as nights where I've been uncomfortable, where something has gone down, or I've got something digging in my hip or something digging in my back or my ribs. That's the thing that will get you and will affect you for possibly days afterwards, because you've only got to ruin one night's sleep, and that has a tail-on effect.
Don't go mad on getting a humongous 3 or 4 room tent. You don't need it.
In actual fact, overly sized tents are a waste of energy, a waste of time. 2 people in a decent 2-man tent will stay warm because your body heat will be trapped. Put 2 guys in a 6-man tent, yes, loads of space, it's luxury and all the rest of it, but your bodies will never heat that space. And again, I can't even remember what make it was, but I used to have a little 2-man sleeping, it's 2-man tent, but it had a thermal lining on the inside, and it was, that was absolutely amazing. That used to keep you cool in the summer and trap the heat in there in the winter, and it really would. 2 guys in there, and you sleep back.
Evening, Robert. No, I haven't heard that. Listen, you heard what's Robert's asked, have you heard of campsites not allowing hammock camping because they think the straps damage the trees?
I have, and unfortunately, this is a bit of this is a bit of propaganda that's being thrown out there at the moment. That, you know, us wild campers and hammock campers and people like that, and the people that sleep under tarps, they're tying ropes to trees and damaging the trees and the bark. A good hammock setup, if set up properly with tree protectors or with straps, isn't going to damage the tree at all. But there's always somebody that wants to bang you
If you
for
had
doing something
thin
you enjoy.
wire, then obviously you would.
These same people have never spent a night in the woods ever themselves. They've never spent a night camping, and they walk around in fluorescently coloured, bloody plastic pullover parkers from the 70s with bloody maps hanging around their necks and compasses, and yet they've only ever walked the same bloody footpath for the last 35 years and tend to own their parish and belong to every bloody society that has a say within the parish. You know, and they're constantly voting on, no, you know, here, there, I've walked this path for the last 94 years.
It makes you laugh, because if you
just
look back,
move forward, because in their youth, they were doing what we're doing now. Okay? The problem is they judge us by how they behaved.
The thing is, how many times have you walked down or driven down a country lane, or, you know, out on the sticks, and seen a bit of wire or barbed wire, whatever, or even part of a fence that the tree is involved, it's encased it.
Yeah,
I've seen pictures of a push bike that had got encased in a tree.
Yeah, it's unfortunately the antis, those people that want the countryside to be theirs, that have their own mental image of how it should look, and yeah, usually it's a twee little image from the 1950s that never actually existed in the first place. It's what they imagine it to be, and they will fight tooth and nail to keep it. And how dare anybody else interfere with it? As I've said in the past, I come from a background that is very, very rural, and I know somebody who has a dairy farm. But when somebody moved in next door, and when I say next door, I mean like a quarter of a mile away, bought quite a big house. They were there for about 3 months, and then they got hold of they didn't get hold of the farmer, they got hold of the council and put a complaint in and said, we need this farm shut down. Right, the animals are too noisy, it wasn't what we expected. We didn't spend all this money moving here to the countryside to put up with that, and it smells terrible. Well, it's a bloody dairy farm, what do you expect? Okay, and they're called cows, not animals. But again, the authority listened to them, actually sent somebody out to measure the noise that the cattle were making, and to grade, you know, the smell and all the rest of it. And it actually ended up with him having to get rid of a slurry pit and actually get a tank. So he had to install a slurry tank, and that was all because
we had a mushroom farm closed down near here.
Yeah.
Because people didn't like the smell.
No, that did smell bad.
It did smell bad. Yes, BJ, you lot. The story of the two men and a dog in a two-man tent was Mac and Mick. And Mac's dog, a black Labrador called Guinness.
Yeah.
They went out on a hike, and his tent blew away. So I ended up with two of them and the dog in a two-man tent.
Oh, did we die?
No.
The dog had a bloody great night. He thought it was wonderful. Typical Labrador. Typical young black Labrador. Lunatic. Yeah. And unfortunately, they're out there. Mozzie City, yeah.
I'm a tree hugger. I do like to.
Yeah, just call me Wood. Watch your sticks. She'll be coming for you next, mate. She's a tree hugger.
It's like with because I like doing photography. It's textures, like the bark. It's got the textures and the depth of it, and it's a stone, and it's just me.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. It's about being attached to nature. It's about we share this planet with so many other living organisms that we don't necessarily understand. We can't communicate. They might not be able to communicate at all. For all we know, we don't know. But we do share the planet with every other living organism here. And if you feel you're part of that whole encompassing macrocosm, that's a wonderful thing. Because again, these people that will tell you, "Oh, I don't want that in the countryside." Yeah, it's all about the microcosm. It's all about the individual. It's about what I want.
I put my mother straight the other day. She was saying, "Oh, I killed a wasp." Okay. So I don't want the bees. So I kill a wasp. I went, why? Well, I don't like them. I said, without with no wasps, you got mosquitoes, Mum. And she, oh. I said, yeah, think about that next time you're battering the poor wasp with your newspaper and give it a bit of space. Let it out.
What's the biggest killer of mosquitoes going?
Good evening, Ray.
Evening, Ray. How you doing? How's the foaling going? Hope it's all good. I hope it's quietening down a little bit for you now. You're able to get some more restful nights. Yeah, we had a long week. Let's put it this way, Ray. Yeah. I've pushed myself a little bit too hard this week, both mentally and physically. This week coming, I'm going to actually step it back a little bit and take it a little bit more easy. There will be a video up this week as normal. However, I'm not walking 16 miles. It's
I'm terrible, Lee. For I go in the garden. I'm always barefoot. Any time I put some on, maybe is it raining? I'm forever going out in the garden, down to the bin and things like that with nothing on my feet.
Oh, there's nothing.
I do like to film, especially in when it's a nice day. It's put feet in the grass and ground myself a bit.
Yeah, nothing like being stood on a high moor on a glorious windswept day, right up there on the top of the tor, 200 or 300 feet up,
watching your tent fly.
Moon or the sun rising or going down behind you, silhouetting as you're stood stark naked, your arms raised to the sky, feeling everything nature's got, roaring. I'm watching the holiday makers turning tail and running like buggery back to the car. Go on, kids, get out of here. Told you they're strange up here on the moors. Yeah, nothing like feeling grounded. Again, it's that contact with nature. That's why so many people like to rewild. That's why many people get so much pleasure about just being outdoors. There's a natural contact with nature that we've all got. Some of us, unfortunately, lose it. It gets hidden behind the modern world, and I don't think it ever gets totally switched off, but it gets confused, and they lose it. Those of us that are fishermen, outdoorsmen, just enjoy a walk, just enjoy the view. Okay, got that connection, and that connection, funny enough, I think it unloads the brain. I think it takes away some of the stress and some of the modern world. I think what it does, I think it actually triggers something in here that almost goes, I'm part of something a lot bigger, and it really don't matter.
Only one this week. 5 overdue, 22 to go. Oh, that's a lot of lives. We watch Farmer P on YouTube.
He's carving,
he's carving at the moment, and he's got some of the mums are a bit calf proud, so he has to get the old plastic rake out.
A couple of times to just jump in the car, drive down there, and go, "Come on, mate, let me give you a hand." Yeah, it's watching a solo farmer
nothing
work with that.
More amazing than seeing new life come into the world.
New life coming into the world, yeah. It's an amazing thing. It is, it's a great deal of pleasure in that. And again, it's that contact with the universe, contact with what's natural. It's all right living in a modern world, don't get me wrong, we all do it. I mean, I've got my bottled cider, we're using the internet here, it's all a wonderful thing, but you need that balance. You need sometimes just that chance, like Kaz said, to put your feet in the grass, just to make contact with your natural elements. Some days to just sit and watch that sunrise or that sunset, or spend 10 minutes sat by the river watching the fish, seeing the birds. It's
Just
a great therapy.
Listen to the water trickling down, even a stream. It's
Yeah. Yeah, of course they get foal proud as well.
Yeah.
Mares can be quite aggressive.
Yeah.
Look at me with that little one tennis bobbing.
Yeah, we had one particular day. We were down in Cornwall on holiday. It started off in the morning, didn't it? We rented a mobile home actually on a farm, and the farm had fishing ponds, so you can go fishing there as well, and you walk and that. And they had a cat that used to walk around in all the mobile homes. Well, the cat came in, nice little ginger cat. He was saying hello. Anyway, it's time for us to let him out the door, and it attacked you. Did it bit him?
Yeah.
And then later on, we went to visit some of his relatives, and they had just had a foal born to his aunt and uncle. How used to keep New Forest down there, yeah. And they had a newborn, and he leant down to say hello to it, and it bit him on the shoulder. And then later on that day, went fishing. He got a eel, bit him. Yeah, so it's 3 things in one day.
One of those days, cat, a foal, and an eel. Anyhow, I'm going to stick the warning up again now, just in case anybody's joined us recently or come in just in the last 10 minutes or so. I've been advised that on this channel, when I live streams, I need to do a warning, okay? Because apparently it's what you do. So I've written my own warning. Okay, this warning, whenever I do a live stream now, will be repeated 3 times in the evening, so nobody can accuse me of poisoning the ears of their little children. Warning. Although no graphic content will be shown on this live stream tonight, topics may be of an adult nature. We will attempt at all times to be PC. However, please remember, 1, I am old. 2, I am drinking. You have been warned. Have your fingers ready for your kids' ear rolls, okay? And if they can read, keep an eye on the chat, and you might have to explain a few things to them. There we go. Warning over.
So, what's my excuse? The fact that I'm drinking lemonade, Lucozade.
You're just rude.
I'm just not adulting, am I?
Rude,
just rude.
Rude
and not adulting.
Rude. She's a rude lady.
I just realised I've got my Halloween top on.
Yeah. Last night on TV, I watched one of my favourite programmes in ages, but I actually watched it all a live show. And for those of you in the UK or anywhere else that's seen it, too late. Bottom. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Bottom. Rick Mail and Aid Edmondson. Right. Always loved it. Goes right
Good
back
evening,
to the young
Andy
ones.
Outside.
Loved the young ones. Thought that was hilarious as a youngster. And then when they did Bottom, loved that. Okay. Absolutely fantastic. The movie Hotel Paradiso.
Yes.
Funniest thing I've ever seen. However,
Aid Edmondson riding a bike.
I was watching one of their live shows. I think it was at Bristol in the theatre. Oh, blimey, talk about having chemistry. You know, they were missing lines, messing things up and that. And it was absolutely brilliant. I was roaring with laughter.
Oh, you seen live
in Bristol, Andy. Yeah, I was watching that one. That was hilarious. I thought I bloody laughed. Yeah. Derek, Aid Edmondson and Rick Mail. It's 2 of the funniest guys I've ever seen. Like I say, Hotel Paradiso. Right, so
candle in the eye.
I got asked by a team that were posted abroad when things were bad, and we used to send like little packages out to them, kit. That's it, and they were up. Send us DVDs. Send us DVDs. We've got always watching DVDs. We're just so bored here, and it's shit. We'll come back in off patrols.
Yeah, I think
and all
it
the rest
was.
of it.
Yeah,
we've had enough. Send us some DVDs. Well, the 2 DVDs that I sent them, which were new out at the time, one of them might not have been actually out, but they were out, was Hotel Paradiso, okay, and Team America. And I sent those two out to them. I tell you what, I was a hero when they came back. They brought me a slab of beer. They went, do you know what? Those two DVDs, literally everything else went out the window. That's all we watched apart from the odd bit of porn.
Right. This is a question for the channel from John. Is it right? For question for Mick and the chat. What is the one luxury bit of kit that you will bring out with you that your friends kind of wonder about?
Condom.
It's a luxury thing.
It is if you fill it full of goose down and use it as a pillow. One luxury item that I'd take that will confuse the hell out of everybody else. Ooh. Got to be politically correct here. It was.
Well, condom is filled with water. You fill it with water, don't you?
Yeah.
Down slippers, yeah.
Down slippers, yeah. Down slippers. Silk pajamas, actually. Yeah.
Okay, Mick, slower and in English this time. Don't make me turn on the closed caption.
Silk pajamas. That's the one luxury item I'd take with me.
I think the best James Bond was Sean Connery, but Tom Hardy is going to be the new James Bond, and I think he's going to make a really good job of it.
Yeah, it's got to be Sean Connery for me as well.
Yeah, hot water bottle is never a bad move. Hot water.
Yeah. Hello, Miss Funny Fanny.
Right. I would probably take a lot. Will you stop? Excuse him.
Oh,
put that.
Where did that come from? Oh, that was a comedian.
My idea of luxury would be lots and lots of Ministry of Defence mint hot chocolate, and I don't share.
Sure, Mrs. Funny Fanny.
Will you stop saying that?
I can't help it. Right, that is. See that man up there? He's responsible for that sense of humour. Okay, that's where I got it from. That gentleman up there is Michael Mitchell. Okay, and he's responsible for everything you say here today. Yeah, wee bottle. Go with that. Yachts, it take his tutu. Told you about that when you come up the woods the other day.
I'll take my pillow. Yeah, I can't be. I have to have my pillow.
Yeah, I'll still go with silk pajamas. Yeah. The nice ones with roses on them.
Pillowcase. Egyptian cotton's the best.
If it was cold conditions and I had to, a good pair of tights. Nothing like a good pair of tights.
Oh, wow. Andy had the original Miss Moneypenny lived in elsewhere in town from him.
Yeah. Oh, awesome.
Men in tights.
You take men in tights with you, Katrina. I've heard about girls like you upwards.
Katrina is. I don't know if you or Michael's the same, but could have gone. But when it's winter time and he rides his motorbike, he has a lot of problems with his knees.
Yeah.
So therefore, if you put a pair of tights underneath your thermals and your jeans, it keeps your legs warm.
Yeah. And
I'm trying, John. I'm trying to be careful.
Yeah. Feels nice as well.
Manly men, many tights.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. In the days before being able to afford good quality thermals, yeah, I was quite regularly go out. And buy
Is that
tights.
when his name's Susan?
tights, woolly socks over them.
She said Mike wears his tights at the weekend. Yeah, definitely Sean Connery.
Yeah, Sean Connery. Yeah. Knee supports. Yeah. Suspenders. No, I've never been a suspender man. Not me, anyhow.
Marjorie.
John Kennedy, tights with chaps, can't unsee it.
No. That's one thing in your filing cabinet. You just, yeah.
We had an older member.
No matter what drawer you open, it always opens that drawer.
We had an older member of our motorcycle club, lovely guy, right? But he was hugely into his Americana, and I mean massively into his Americana.
Aston Martin,
right? And he bought himself a Harley, and it was gorgeous Harley, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Absolutely stunning, pristine condition. And then he started buying all the kit to wear to go with it, and everything he bought had to be genuine Harley Davidson shipped over.
That the underwater one.
And he turned up at the bike club one day, and because he's of a certain age, he would wear his very, very blue jeans that were pressed, so they had a crease in them. But he had the most. He had a black pair of very, very shiny painted leather chaps with conchos down the side, and as the enforcer of the club, I had to take him to one side and ask him to remove the chaps, especially as we had another larger motorcycle club coming to visit, and thought that our reputation may have come into disrepute on them walking in and seeing what looked like a member of the Blue Oyster bar stood there with his pint of Guinness in his hand. So yeah, I've got an aversion to chaps.
So I'm going to throw this out there. Which of the 007 films was your favourite?
Thunderball.
I like Live and Let Die.
Yeah.
Or Moonraker.
Moonraker was good, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. That's difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah. With old I can't remember
Jaws.
His name. The guy who played Jaws.
Yeah. And didn't it have the one with the hat as well?
Odd Job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Odd Job.
I Only Live Twice. I like that one too.
They were good
From
films.
Russia with Love. I just didn't like the last couple.
I didn't mind them. Daniel Craig and that. Yeah. In actual fact, in actual fact, the place that I was considering going this week to film, if you guys are interested, so you can vote on it now, tell me yay or nay. The place I was considering going was actually used in a James Bond film. I can't remember which one it was now, but it's where they blew up his home. They blew up his home mansion or home estate. And that was a place called Hankley Common.
You're talking about
about 20 miles from here. Now, Hankley Common has a fantastic history going back into the Second World War and before, as it was used for preparation for the D-Day landings quite intensively. It had a mortar range on it, which
Skyfall,
that's it, where they were still digging the mortars, live mortars, 3-inch mortars out of the ground up until about 10 years ago. I was part of a team that had to help with that. And has what they call the Hankley Bowl, which is a huge natural bowl, all heather clad. For many, many years, as Mac will tell you, was used as the airborne dropping centre for the paras locally. Many, many hundreds of paras have jumped into that area in their training. And It was also used on, I believe, A Bridge Too Far and The Longest Day for some of the scenes in those. Um, Still there today. There is a structure which is a replica of the German Atlantic Wall with the holes in it that they basically what they did was they made tanks, stuck the charges on the front of the tanks, and the idea that these tanks were driven up to the wall, stuck against the wall, detonated, and blew holes in the wall. Well, the wall that they practiced that on is still there. You can still go and see the Atlantic Wall. So what I was toying was getting together with Mac and having a wander up round there this week if the weather's reasonable, because it is a stunning spot. However, 2 years ago it was hit with a forest fire, which ripped right through it. Absolute terrible destruction. Took the heather out for miles, and I was just thinking it'd be interesting to get up there now that spring's come in, just to see how everything's regenerating and coming on. So yeah, if you're interested, that might well be our video this week. They were trying to get Idris Elba to do it, but he couldn't say, "Hello, Miss Funny Fanny." Properly.
He did not say he got a funny fanny.
I tell you what, she'd have got more fans if she had been called Mrs. Funny Fanny.
You wouldn't get away with that in 1960s.
It would. Name's
No,
Fanny,
no.
and she likes to tell
No.
jokes. That's what they called her, Funny Fanny.
No matter how much you push it, bloody brush stuff over it.
I think it'd have been
won't
better
work.
than Money Penny.
Right, you said it 3 times now. If you say it again, I'm going to kick you.
Okay, I won't say it again.
Oh,
Yeah. The thing is, though, isn't it? It's like a lot of things. It's funny how things do get twisted. I'm not getting political now. I'm not going to get into the whole political thing. But it's funny how things get twisted. How quite often
I think they were, Andy.
It's okay for some people to play certain characters, but woe betide do you try and play one of their characters. I do. There is
Because Gene Wilder went ballistic when Johnny Depp played Willy Wonka.
Yeah, he did.
He did not like that at all. Yes, there was a pussy galore.
Yes, you were right, Sticks. It was a pussy galore.
I believe it was Honor Blackman, wasn't it? Pussy galore. Jane Blonde.
Jane Blonde, yeah. Now, there's a good idea for a comedy skit. So, how about some of the old stuff then? About things like the old Carry On films. What was your favourite Carry On movie?
Carry On Screaming. Yeah. If they're not having Johnny Depp in it, I'm not watching it.
Carry On Screaming.
Thank you, Chris. You just stick up for him. Yeah, Carry On Screaming is definitely my favourite.
Tropical. Oh,
yeah,
Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder. That's I like that film.
That
yeah,
was bloody funny. That was funny. Absolutely, yeah. Colour all that. Who's? Oh, I used to know that. Oh.
He wasn't he the? Didn't he used to play Tarzan? The first one. He was Tarzan at one point.
Oh. He only did one, didn't he? Only did one. Come on. George. Is it George? Oh, bloody hell. Now you got me. Oh, you swine. That's going to be bugging me for days, that is.
Oh, look now.
Oh, Carol's going to look it up. Come on.
I'm pretty sure he was a...
Lazenby. George Lazenby, was it? And of course, James Bond, written by Sir Ian Fleming.
George Lazenby.
That's it, George Lazenby.
They were
George
Lazenby, Roger Moore, Timothy Dalton, Pierce Brosnan, Daniel Craig, and then, of course,
Lazenby. Yeah, well done, Nops. Well done. You got it first. So, and of course, written by I said it just now. Oh bloody hell! Welcome to My Head goes in, leaves just as quickly. Ian Fleming, who was actually a spy master during the Second World War. So it was a spy, wrote a book about spies. Yeah. Yeah. Fleming, yeah, Ian Fleming. All right. So wrong. The first James Bond was Bob Honus from Blockbusters when it was aired as a radio play. Yeah, that was a bit of a sneaky, that, wasn't it? That was a little bit of sneaky because we were all thinking about the movies. Yeah, clever though.
Can I have a pee, please, Bob?
Oh, I can't say it now, can I? Because I promise you won't say it, or you kick me.
No.
Can I have a pee, please, Money Penny? Katrina's having a cig. You're having a fag. Gone for a fag. Oh, I'm having a fag. Oh, what was that? Oh, bloody hell, what TV program?
Yeah, he never said films. See,
Yeah. No, you got to say.
No. Yeah, David Niven was sort of, he sort of was a right.
He was a funny actor,
Yeah.
wasn't he? It was some of the stuff he was in, absolutely brilliant. So,
Pierce Brosnan, wasn't.
Yeah.
It's not my idea of
that. I might watch Carry On Sergeant when we're done tonight.
Yeah, we're banned now because John said we bang. And now, dang, and now we're banned. Mick dropped the F-bomb.
No, we're right. I put a warning out tonight. There, did the warning. So there we go. There's no gratuitous violence on the channel. That's banned. We'll get deleted now. You all saw that. You're all witnesses.
Yeah, I love Carry On films.
Yeah, I do. Carry On. I love old-fashioned humour because of its innocence. Yes, it could be a little bit naughty and it could be a little bit fruity in places, but it was always a little bit tongue-in-cheek.
I was surprised. In the Carry On films, the gentleman that played the old farmer is always a panned. You know, that one. And who played the constable in Carry On Screaming, he was actually a war hero, wasn't he?
A lot of them were. A lot of these people were. They, it's. I mean, let's face it. At the end of the day, some of the greatest actors and comedians of their day had quite interesting histories behind them. You look at people
Michael Bentine.
Michael Bentine. Now, there's a man to me. Now, so Michael Bentine. So
Great Escape. Yeah,
his Second World War story wasn't told for many, 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 many years. Purely and simply, it was hidden under a 60-year rule.
Horse was the other one.
Because Michael Bentine was a top Second World War spy. And after the Second World War, he actually developed the shooting technique for the British Army for pistol shooting. And it was because he was an Olympic standard pistol shooter. And he developed our offhand shooting technique at the time, took that to the military, okay? And originally the military went over that, and actually went on to teach it to the SAS. So,
Kelly's Heroes, all-time favourite that was. With Oddball.
One of my favourite films. Got one of my favourite songs in it.
Yeah.
Okay. One of my all-time favourite songs.
We've actually been very unlucky with that film because every time we've got it on DVD, well, it was first on video, we lost. Someone borrowed it and it disappeared. Then we had it on video and someone borrowed it and it disappeared.
Telly Savalas, yeah, he was a great actor.
Yeah.
Great actor. Sorely missed. Gone before his time, unfortunately. Had a lot more in him. Yeah. 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 Lots of little bits about Kelly's heroes are quite fascinating. The fact that Oddball was always wearing the cap, tanker's cap, or wasn't actually a tanker's cap, it was actually a pilot's cap.
Yeah.
The reason the actor wore that was at the time of filming he was suffering with meningitis and was suffering with absolutely astounding and crippling headaches.
That's why he barked, wasn't it?
Yeah,
There you go. Woof, woof, woof.
And that was where the bark came from. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So Andy's granddad helped the guys with the gliders at Pegasus Bridge.
Oh, wow. Fantastic.
That's a god-awful, beautiful tank. No variety was with the negative waves.
We visited Pegasus Bridge.
Yeah, we did.
About 4 years ago, when it stood where the gliders came in. And I tell you what, you can watch it on every programme you want. You can watch every reenactment, every film and all the rest of it. Till you're actually stood on that little piece of ground where they've marked out where each glider actually ended up. And you say, how the hell did they get those in there with the minimum loss of life that they actually had?
She went to the...
was just unbelievable. And to see where they landed, got out of those gliders in the condition they were in after that rougher landing, and then literally went straight into action.
Yeah.
And
there's a lot of them were killed with when the gliders were carrying vehicles as well as the people. Yeah. A lot of times when they crashed,
glider troops, hellacious.
But there is some of the gliders actually there at the museum, isn't there?
Yeah.
And the bridge, which would have been Pegasus Bridge, I was amazed by the big holes in the metalwork.
Yeah.
Obviously, from when they were shooting up to the people that were.
It's if you ever get a chance to visit Pegasus Bridge and go and stand on the bridge, it's fantastic. Great deal of respect, and obviously been to Miss Gondry's bar. Had a cheese toasty there. Fantastic bit of history. As you just said, with men were men. You have to stand there and understand the history behind it. We also, when you're looking at the bullet damage and that on the bridge, every single round there, every single hole tells a story for both sides. Because again, you've got to tell both sides of or both parts of the story for it to all work. And that was a hellacious night. It was a real night of courage. And I tell you this, after visiting there, as I said to Caroline when we were coming back, right, we all know my fear of heights. Okay, I really do not like heights. But after seeing what I've seen and knowing what I know now, given the choice between going in a glider and jumping out of a plane, right, I'll jump out the plane. I wouldn't have wanted to be in one of those gliders. Really wouldn't. When men had those.
You're right, Andy. You get a feeling when you're standing there of, for all sides.
Yeah.
Really.
Okay. It's
a battle, and like in all wars, some people didn't want to be there, and
as with all wars, we judge people as enemies and always look at it as bad. They weren't all bad. I wanted people there because they didn't want to be there, but had no choice of being there.
When I was at school, secondary school, they were going to do a trip to the to Dunkirk and that, and to all the trenches and that, and I wanted to go because I felt that I should do, but couldn't go. Not enough people wanted to go in the end, so we went, like I say, 4 years ago, and we went to Gold Beach and that, and I enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy it. It was something I felt I had to.
Something you had to do. So we travelled the whole coast. We visited all the beaches, paid our respects on every single one.
We saw the church where the parachute got caught up.
Yeah.
And that, and
we didn't go on an official tour or anything.
No.
We went and took the history and did our own time round it. And for me, it was important because, as I've said in the past, my grandfather operated Higgins boats towards the latter part of the war, and in the early part of the war, he operated raiding craft. He was based out of a place called Brightlingsea on the east coast, and they used to run raiding parties pretty much across the North Sea into Holland, France, and that. All sorts. He was on the Dieppe raid. He was operating Higgins boats or landing craft at Dieppe raid, which nearly destroyed him. That left him a very bitter man towards politicians, governments, and that for the rest of his life, and was on the D-Day landings. And the one thing I was able to do for him was to visit the same beach he landed on, and just spend a few minutes there at the memorial thinking about him. Right? And I was all right. I stood there looking out on this glorious beach on a beautiful day, and the tide was out. And I'm sitting there, and I was just trying to picture in my mind what it must have looked like. I mean, we've all seen the images, and I was trying to imagine what it would have been like for those guys coming into those beaches at that time, knowing that my grandfather was one of the guys. He was chief petty officer, so he'd been steering, bringing that landing craft in and out. And the only few things he ever said about it wasn't so much coming in that was hard, was bringing the guys back to the boats that were injured, knowing that you were going to pile more in to take them back. And that was the thing that got him about the Dieppe raid. And I stood there looking at it, a world of emotions going through me. I mean, I lost him when I was a young lad. And all of a sudden, behind me, there's a playground, and all I could hear was kids laughing and playing. And that made me cry. So that made me realise that it was, choking up again now, made me realise that was worth it. Okay. So when people say to me today, I wouldn't do this and I wouldn't do that and I wouldn't defend the country for the politicians, you're not doing it for the politicians. If this country ever needed to be defended, you're not defending it for the politicians. You're defending it for the future of the children, for those kids and generations to come to live in a free and independent world. Right? My grandfather absolutely hated politicians, hated Churchill, spit if you said Churchill, okay, called him a murderer, right? Because he'd seen the other side. And for any ex-serviceman, whether you've seen action or not, you understand that the orders are given, you do. When it comes to a volunteer defence force, whether it be anywhere in the world, you're defending your land, you're defending your people, you're defending your way of life, you're defending your soil. That's what it's really about. Okay, that's enough of that.
Yeah, I agree with you. One of the places we went to when we were there, Gold Beach, we went to a place that was heavily fortified, wasn't it? It was like a big square building, but in the car park, on the outside of the building, were a couple of the old tanks that they brought out of the sea. But there's also a landing craft there, and that landing craft, it was original, and it had been used in Saving Private Ryan, and then donated back to the museum.
Got restored as a prop for Saving Private Ryan, and it's original one. They restored it, used it, and then obviously it was probably easier for them to donate to the museum and ship it back to wherever.
Yeah.
But and it's a gorgeous piece of equipment. Well, it's not a gorgeous piece of equipment. Actually, I walked on it trying to envisage again how my grandfather operated this thing, and I've operated boats myself, and I'm on this thing thinking, God, this would have been a pig to steer. It would have handled like a nightmare.
You got the waves, people throwing
God
up.
awful place to be as a soldier, let alone as the crew on it. Yeah, damn. But again, as a piece of history, to be able to put your hands on it and know its story was worthwhile, very, very worthwhile. The interesting thing for me actually being there, one of the things that fascinated me was so I got to stand on a beach and see the view that my grandfather would have had coming into the beach and onto the beach deploying the guys. A couple of hours later, we actually visited the German main bunker in that town, and it was disguised inside this building. So it looks like a normal building from the outside, but the walls are like 4 foot thick. It's all defensive. You go down little passageways. There's lots of little cut-offs, gun points, ambush points all the way through this. But up at the top of the building is actually the watch point, including the original periscope, which you can look through, which I suppose it would have been an OP. The OP commander would have looked at the beach. So I've seen it both from where my grandfather would have looked up at this town and gone, "Hey guys, go on, in you go." Right. I've also been there and looked through the same periscope, but that German officer would have gone, "Oh, fucking hell." That long. It was quite an interesting I sort of got to feel for both of them in a way, because that would have been quite a stirring morning.
Yeah, it's like every kid should, but it's also I think that kids should learn more to do with like bushcrafting and sort of
history, relevant history, and a love of nature.
Yeah.
Okay, so
and survival, because
first aid.
Yeah.
Why can't we teach first aid in
a lot
classes?
of kids still can't swim.
Yeah. Again,
and it's
simple life skills.
Yeah.
I'd rather a child was taught good life skills, i.e., things like first aid, how to swim, a love of nature, a little bit of an understanding of nature, okay, and how to get a bit of pleasure from nature, a little bit of self-reliance, maybe just how to build a simple shelter, how to light a simple fire, simple things. I'm not on about getting into it in depth, but through that and inspiring a love of nature, rather than sitting in a classroom and having somebody go, "This is a picture of a daffodil. But this bit of the daffodil is a stamen." Actually give them a little bit of hands-on, a little bit of a love, because that's where it comes from for most of us. Most of us, it comes from our childhood. It comes from being out there playing. It comes out there being out and experiencing that moment one day where you look down at a plant and you go, and you're having a nose. It's fascinating, the structure of it.
I have to look that out, Andy. Thank you. Andy said his mate at Strike Force UK has a bushcraft section on his website.
Excellent.
Oh, bushcraft warehouse. Yeah, definitely have a look at those. Thank you.
Oh, interesting. Well, I'm obviously happy to support anybody that is out there trying to promote and
and anyone from earlier. This sorry.
Otherwise, other side.
Oh God, yeah, sorry. Is the email address you want to get hold of us? We have a camp 31st of May to the 2nd of June. So that's Friday through to Sunday. We've got limited spaces. 10. Sorry.
How's that, mate?
Yeah, we got at the site that Mick uses. Yeah. We're going to have a camp on the Saturday. We'll get our friend Jason, the chef, military chef, is going to be making range stew and curry
for tea
and tea and. So it's just gonna be get together and
it is a wild camp. It's basically bring your camping gear with you, bring your breakfast, lunch, tea for the Friday night, the Saturday, and the Sunday. With the exception, if you want to join us on the Saturday night, don't feel you have to. If you want to join us on the Saturday night for a meal around the fire, Jason's going to be doing a army range stew, and he's also going to do an army style curry. So basically, being a military chef, he's going to do those old traditions for us, and he's going to do them old school. He said, you know, at the end of the day, give the old and bold of you a bit of a reminder, and for anybody that's never experienced these wonderful dishes, something to try.
I might have a go at making a homemade rice pudding as well, and some bread pudding.
Yeah, I might even make some bannock bread.
Not menu 7, no.
And again, likewise, if there's anything over that weekend that you want to try from my kit, or a method or system, that's what it's about. It's about having a nice weekend where we all get together, have a laugh and a giggle together. If you want to get stuck in, get stuck in. If you want to just come, camp, and have a quiet weekend to yourself, do so. It's about enjoyment, getting pleasure out of it. It's my way of sharing what I've got with everybody else, because something I'm very aware of all the time is I have access to the woods, and not everybody does.
BJ, you've got to try the bran sauce.
Not everybody gets an opportunity to do firelighting or cook over an open fire. And again,
practice with some flints.
Yeah, practice with some flints. Anybody wants to do anything like that, again, I'll have all that kit with me over that weekend. You want to try flint and steel, you want to try one of the grill sets, you want to try a squirrel cooker, you want to try any of my gear, it'll all be there.
Had to get back at that squirrel attack you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no menu 7s.
Yeah, if you want to come, Andy, give us email us.
And John and BJ. Okay.
I'll give you some more information about it.
You're going to be doing that there. Now, John, what I'm going to be doing, you and BJ getting together for an Alabama camp, okay? I'm going to be sending something out to you, okay, for you to pass on to BJ. Just a little bit of you couldn't make it over here for hours, but it's a little bit of something for you. Same thing to Derek. So there will be a little something for coming on this camp. Just a little memento.
Oh yes,
sorting out at the moment.
It should be fun.
Yeah, you'll be able to have a fire without people moaning about it. Obviously, we've got to be a little bit cautious with the conditions. Please don't burn the woods down. I'll be in so much shit.
If you want to toast your crumpet, but you can do it.
It's about having some fun, trying those things you can't normally do.
You want to stand there in your camo trousers with your toasting fork and toast whatever you like, then yeah.
There may even be an opportunity to take some photographs for a future calendar.
Yep.
Yeah, brilliant, mate. We'll do that. It's just a little something. Easy, Andy. That one's getting a bit close to the line there, mate.
Night, Trina. See you next weekend.
Good night, Trina. Sleep well.
Yeah, put on the sound button. Yeah,
definitely. All right, Saturday night, I envisage it. We'll get the campfire going. Yeah. We'll all be sat around the campfire, having a laugh and a joke, telling tales, having a good time. Okay, that's what it's about. I am hoping to do a bit of a video about it. Right? And any of you that are there that don't want to be on video, you just turn around and say, sorry, Mick. Any of you that have got your own channel, if you want to film whilst you're there, do so. Crack on. Not a problem at all. You want to make a video or you want to do something for your channel there, you crack on with it. If you want to do it just on your own, you don't want anybody else involved in it, you do it. It's an opportunity for you to be able to do those things you might not be able to do in your normal environment. So, again, it's crack on. It's about having a good time and enjoying it. Yeah, it's just north of Birmingham. Not Birmingham, UK. Obviously, he's Birmingham out there. Yeah, so
also what we hope Andy to do is go do some more around the country.
Yeah, and I'm hoping to get out and travel this year with Mac. I mean, that's all depending on vehicle behaving, funds, and all the rest of it. But we would dearly love to get out. We're hoping to get up through. We'd like to do sort of East Coast going up, and then West Coast coming back down. So it'd be basically work our way up the East Coast, visit and see a few guys on the way up.
I'm definitely missing a few cogs. Michael, have you got any?
Do a bit in Scotland
Lee,
and then work our way back down. One of the other things we were talking about doing was meeting up with Sticks and Benny, grabbing those two and heading up to the Forest of Galloway for a weekend, and having a weekend up in the Forest of Galloway, because neither Sticks or Benny's had a chance to visit it. I've done it 2-3 times now, and obviously Mac, being Scottish, he knows the area, and it is the biggest true forest in the UK. And
what got me really excited was an old, it's probably a 12-seater hovercraft beside the water. I was like, I always wonder what they. Yeah, John says he can always wear those fancy SAS black block glasses. You don't want to be in the pictures.
Exactly that. I've got plenty of black tape. Okay, it's there's a couple of pictures of me with black tape over my eyes. The only problem is you take it off and takes the bloody eyebrows off.
Yeah, because Kitten, he's in for the Galloway gig.
And the idea of that is again being a chance. I know there's people that are not going to be able to make it down for the camp. We're going to do another one. If he
brings Sticks and Benny up, then that means the people up there
gives people a chance to meet up. British Army Arctic mask.
Then we get a chance to sort of put faces to names and just to keep the community, so you're not just
gives people a chance to meet me and go, blimey, you're shorter than I thought. I am vertically challenged. No, I'm quite lucky that way. It's the width. It used to be 6'9", but it's all sagging now, spreading out a little bit. 6'9", I'm down to 5'9". Gained a foot in the middle. That's my excuse anyhow.
Yeah, we know.
That's how I played it.
You can.
All right, where are we? 2 hours and 6 minutes. Yeah. Everything goes south at our age, and the things that are south go even further south.
Yes.
Yeah, can't believe that. It's all that ducking under bushes all the time. That's what it is. Anyhow, guys, look, I'm going to call it quits in a little bit, because we're going to go and have a little bit of a snack. Take it easy.
I thought you were going to say snog then.
I'm game if you are, sweetbag. I'm game if you are.
But yeah, if you haven't has anyone sent any emails that haven't had any replies yet, my apologies. I'm not being too good, but I will get on to reading it all.
We will. Yeah, tomorrow's an admin day for us. So how that normally works through the week for me and Kaz is what with the video and filming and all the other responsibilities we've got as in life and that.
See if I don't see before Friday.
Monday is our admin day, so that's the day when we normally do things. Mac, yes. So Mac, how do you fancy Hankley Common this week? Me, you, Hankley Common, Atlantic Wall, a bit of history and all the rest of it. We'll get up there.
Friday's coffee and cake.
Coffee and cake on Friday, right? So, where was I going? Yes, Mondays is an admin day for us. So tomorrow it's flat out getting bits and pieces sorted. Guys, take it easy. Have fun. Have your adventures. Be good. Enjoy yourselves.
Just don't get taught.
Yeah, just don't get caught. Love those you do. Forgive those you don't. And as always, peace and light be upon you all. I'm going to let it run for another 5-10 minutes, just so that you all get a chance to say good night to one another. And if there's anything you need to throw up, awesome, mate. Yeah, Hankley it is then. Right, so me and Mac will definitely be doing Hankley Common this week.
Oh, new boots.
Oh, new boots. Nice. guys, have fun. Take care. Look after yourselves. Yeah.
Thank you. Please check out the channel and
give us a like
and a thumbs up. I mean,
and
brilliant.
Again, 2 channels for you this week that I've been watching that I found I like. As I said, nature inspired snips and snaps. She's wonderful. She gets some really good footage, stunning shots. And another guy I've come across, I meant to mention him earlier on, and I do apologise to him if he ever sees this, but I will try and contact him later in the week, let him know that we're going to mention him next week. East Beds Bushcraft. Yeah, great channel. Thoroughly enjoyed that as well. So there you go. That's 2 for you this week. Mary, thank you very much, my sweetheart. Yeah, and have an awesome week. Ray, hope them foals hurry up and come, mate, and watch yourself with the foal proud ones, because I've had a few kicks and nips over the years, and I tell you, that'll make you wander a bit funny for a day or two. Cheers, camper, that invisible camper. Yeah, great stream. Yeah, and you guys make it the stream. You're the ones that keep me going, feed me the information, give me the encouragement, and that's all your fault.
Yeah, and you lot have given me the support that's made me actually come on the channel rather than be the voice that hides in the corner.
BJ, have a wonderful week, mate. Give your little ones a hug from me. Say hi, and all the rest of it.
Wants to know, when did the army stop using bromide in the tea?
Still do, mate. Still do. Derek, my brother. I will get hold of you this week. We'll find some way. We'll do a WhatsApp. We'll have a chat.
Yeah, WhatsApp and
have a natter. Yeah, Robert, I don't think they ever did stop putting bromide in there. They probably put something else in there as a substitute these days. But yeah. You ever notice British Army tea? It's not just tannin in there. There's a bit of a tang to it. Right, guys.
Do they put it in their hot chocolate as well? Because I love their hot chocolate.
You ever had a problem having an erection?
No.
Don't put it in the chocolate then. Saltpeter in the tea. Yeah.
No, I've never had a problem with.
All right.
Good night, BJ.
Yeah.
Love to all the family.
Right, at that point, we've dropped it to that level. Guys, much respect to you all. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for all the likes, all the sharing, all the comments. Stay awesome, guys. And I'll speak to you next week. Mickey out.
Be safe. Stay free.
Certainly does, BJ. Night, Yarps.